I was doing a fathering class with some of the young interns, and I'm always trying to discern, Lord, how can we help these young men and women get free in different areas? And I noticed that a bunch of them really battle with shame and guilt and just struggling in God's perception of them. And so I said to each of them in that particular group, about a dozen of them, I said, when you were disciplined by your parents growing up, when you left that discipline, did you feel that you were completely forgiven, and was it not brought up again? Did you feel like it was a totally done deal and you walked away from it feeling no pressure on you or no stain of condemnation or guilt or shame? And unfortunately, most of them said they felt the deal was never closed. And they walked away kind of with words that were said, attitudes, subtle nuances of looks and things that made them feel that somehow they were not completely forgiven. And how can we, in our own lives, know that God completely forgives us if we often have family situations where we don't feel like it's been clean? And yet Psalm 103, verse 12, God says, I've taken your sins and I've placed them as far from you as the east is from the west. That's infinity. God says, I want to get them away from you. I'm getting your sins as far away from you as is possible. If you were trying to protect your child from something that would hurt them, be it the internet, or be it a fire, or be it a dangerous person, you'd want to get them as far away from that person as possible. Well, that's the way God views sin in our life. He suffered and died on the cross in our place, but from that moment on, once we acknowledge our sin, he wants to then separate us from living under the stain and the shadow and the yoke of that sin that will keep us in bondage. And yet that's the battle we have. We have to deal with those thoughts that bounce around our brain and really contaminate our hearts as we dwell on old conversations that need closure.